carrying on from the last lesson on calculating the average, if the information is put in a table, then the first thing you have to work out is something called the FX column. Because the mean stays the same. The mean is equal to the sum of every single score added together. So in this case, every child added together, divided by how many numbers there are, which in this case is how many houses took place here. So we can see how many houses took place here because we've got 31 had no children, 18 had a child, 31 had 2 children, 23 had 3 children, 22 had 4 children, and 25 had 5 children. So there were a total of 250 houses in this particular street. So a big street. So we've got to work out the total on the top. Well, that's where this FX columns come in. There's 31 houses with no children. That's no children. There were 18 houses with 1 child. That's 18 children. 1 per household for them 18 houses. There were 31 houses with 2 children in. So that's 62 children. 2 children per house for 31 houses, 2 31s. Now that's where it gets its name from. X is always that column, F for frequency, and you times them two together. So basically, I do 3 lots of 23 for the next one. I do 4 lots of 22 for the next one. And I do 5 lots of 25 for the last one. And if I add those up, that will tell me how many children there are altogether. So I've got nothing, plus 18, plus 62, plus 69, plus 88, and plus the 125. So that's a total of 362. If I divide by the 250, that gives me an average of 1.448 per household. And we don't round that off. I know we can't have 0.448 of a child, but unless they tell you otherwise, you put the answer down as given. Now, if the data is given in a grouped format, we can't work out exactly what the mean is. Hence, we can only work out an estimate. Now, that doesn't mean that we totally guess the value. What we do is use a bit of common sense. We know in this particular question, we've got a number of students completing a puzzle, and we know that 2 people took between 0 and 10 minutes. Now, for all we know, both of them might have taken 10 minutes to finish this, or just under 10 minutes. What we're going to guess at, and this is our estimate, we're going to guess that on average, they take 5 minutes. So we're going to assume that they either both take 5 minutes, or we're going to assume that maybe one of them takes below 5 minutes and one takes over 5 minutes, but on average, they take 5 minutes. So that means on the next block, we're going to assume that on average, they take 15 minutes. Yeah, 1 or 2 might take below the 15 minutes, 1 or 2 above the 15 minutes, but on average, we're going to assume that it's 15. Likewise, for the 18 people in the next column, we're going to assume that it's 25 minutes. For the next one, 35 minutes and 45 minutes, for the same reason as those described in the first 2 blocks. So as with the previous example, what we now need to do is we now need to work out our FX column. So calculate at the ready if we need it. So we've got 2 taking 5 minutes, that's a total of 10 minutes. 3 taking 15 minutes is a total of 45 minutes, 15, 15 and 15. 18 taking 25 minutes, calculator, we got 450 minutes. 13 taking 35 minutes, 13 lots of 35 gives you 455 minutes. And 24 taking 45 minutes gives you 1080. So the mean, again I'm going with a lazy way of writing it, X bar, the mean is that total, we're going to add them up now. So we've got 10 added to the 45, added to the 450, added to the 455, added to the 1080. Total number of minutes is guessed at being 2040, divided by, now I don't need to add this column up because I'm told in the question this time that there were 60 students who took this puzzle. So we got divide by 60, and out comes 34 minutes on average. So just to repeat the last method, here we've got 100 patients, so straight away in calculating the mean, I know that it's a divide by 100 because I'm told in the question there's 100. What I don't have is the total, but I'm going to find it the same way that I found the last calculation of the mean. I'm going to guess that whilst there's 34 patients who waited between 0 and 5 minutes, I'm going to guess that they on average waited 2.5 minutes. I'm going to guess that the next bunch of 51 patients waited 7.5 minutes. The next lot, 12.5 minutes, 17.5 minutes, and the last block, 22.5 minutes, i.e. the halfway value for each block. Now that's our estimate. That's the only bit of estimating that we do. Next, we work out, as I've said twice before now, the FX column. So we've got 2.5 times 34 is 85. 7.5 times 51 is 382.5. 7 times the 12.5 is 87.5. 5 times the 17.5 is 87.5. And 3 times the 22.5 is 67.5. And if I add that lot together, we will have what we guess, a reasonable good guess, is our total number of minutes waited for. So 85 added to the 382.5, added to the 87.5, added to the 87.5, added to the 67.5. Comes out as 710. So when divided by 100, we get an average of 7.2 minutes.